Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of No Right, No Wrong, and we're back with another guest. Yes, this is CT, and this is No Right, No Wrong. Welcome, and with me today I have Emma. Emma, you want to introduce people how you want to be referred uniquely?
Hi. Well, you already said my name is Emma.
Is it only Emma? I know I'll do for her as well.
Ah, my name is Emanuela.
Oh, complete. Now we're going complete version. Are you going to give us
Yeah.
the middle name and the
No,
last name?
they don't need to know that. Even though you've already said it, they don't need to know. It's on a need to know basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Emma.
Okay.
I'm Nigerian.
Okay.
I live in Halifax. I go to Dow, and I'm just chilling. There's nothing much. That's just the basics. We'll start from there.
So the basics is that you're Emma, you're Nigerian,
Yeah.
you're a student at
Dalhousie,
in where?
Halifax,
In which country?
Canada.
Are you Canadian?
Definitely.
Anyway, welcome to today's podcast. We're just out here. Said I should invite you for you to come and
I'm excited.
you're excited, eh?
Definitely.
Okay, so where am I gonna begin today? I was thinking about where I'm gonna begin, but I'm gonna start with tell me, this is you're going into your third year?
Yep.
How would you refer to yourself going into third year? What are the junior?
Yeah.
I'm learning this Canadian
I think
terms.
that's what they call it.
Junior, right?
Yeah.
So you go freshman, you go sophomore,
Yeah.
you go junior,
And
and then senior. And then if you have a fifth year, like
I was gonna say something.
no, what do you want to say? I'm curious.
No, it's okay.
If the fifth year, what is
Senior,
it?
senior.
Senior,
Senior squared. I'm gonna say
And if you have to say a sixth year.
Bele.
Okay, so yeah, let's start from here. You're going into your third year. Let's talk about your experience so far. Because me, I'm also curious to find out what's happening on campuses.
Nothing much, don't worry.
For you.
Yeah.
Only if I believe that, guys. Only if I believe that. But yeah, so looking at your experience, this is your third year that you're going into.
Yeah.
Let's start from, I didn't even figure out what you're actually in this school doing. What are you studying?
I'm studying biochemistry. That's my major. But I have a minor in psychology as well.
Okay. And
Extra
just a
sprinkles.
sprinkle. Only psychology.
For now, that's my minor.
Okay. So
Yeah.
minor in psychology, major in biochemistry.
Yep.
So how has it been your first couple of years?
See, it's nice to say, like, the aesthetics. Study biochemistry. It's very nice. Women in STEM, period. That's the end. That's where it ends.
No, but you gotta let me know. So what is it? So it's STEM, right? So how have you been going through these first 2 years? I'm curious to find out. I know it's probably I did STEM, but it's been a minute. I want to find out what is going on campuses in 2023.
2023.
From Emma.
What's going on in campuses?
Yes.
The academic parts?
Everything. We're going to talk about everything, but let's start from the academic part. The reason that your parents sent you there. This thing will not be complete. I have to say, we'll have to start by the reason that you're there.
Right.
But we understand that you're also there.
To do what?
We'll just keep it like that. But we'll start from the reasons from the academic side. How's that going?
Yeah. Well, first year was okay. There was nothing crazy about it. I just going the introductory stuff.
So let me ask this, because for me as a student, right? I first year was like switching from Nigerian secondary school into first year. So for you, when you compare going from high school directly into first year, did you find it to be a lot similar?
Yeah. Also, because in high school, I took a lot of advanced classes.
You were ready for that STEM life.
Right. Because I also came from Nigeria. High school wasn't anything. I already learned.
Let's give a backdrop, because you mentioned that. So you say you came from Nigeria. So how many years of high school did you do here in Canada?
In Canada, I did the 4 years. grade 9 to
So you
12.
did all 4 high school years.
Yeah.
So because I need to merge these two things together. So you did your JS 1 to 3 in Nigeria
Just 1 to 2, 3.5.
and 3.5.
Yeah.
So the SS kind of, which is high school, is what you did the 4 years
Yeah.
when you were here. So you're saying that within the 4 years of your high school, you took some advanced classes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Especially like my last 2 years were when I did the advanced classes. So moving into first year university, it was like a smooth transition, like nothing too crazy. It's basically what I already learned, just maybe a little bit harder. Because I took
Okay.
advanced classes prepare you for university. So I already learned a lot of the things before. So
Can I relate these advanced classes to like A level? Do you know what A level is?
I'm not exactly sure what A levels are. I
Mm.
keep hearing them, but I don't exactly know what.
There's a part of me
Yeah.
that feels like advanced classes might be similar to A levels, kind of a preparation to university as well. That's like A levels in Nigeria. But yeah, go ahead. Just was thinking.
I know
if that-
like some people can call them AP classes. I don't know
Ad-
if
what would AP mean?
something preparatory.
Advanced preparatory classes. We're going to go with that.
Yeah. I know in the States they call them AP classes. So AP classes are more than the regular classes and they count for more credits towards university. So when universities see that you take advanced or AP classes, they're like, okay, so she did more than she was supposed to. Basically, she's ready to come, right?
Yeah.
As compared to regular high school stuff.
So your first year was basically like chill because this is what you're kind of used to.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that since it was chill, there was time for other things. But we'll get to that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh my days.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's continue. Then going into your second year.
Second year was an eye opener because so many things. First of all, professors are not as nice. First year, you're just entering. Do you need any extension? They'll give it to you.
Mm.
Do you need any? They'll reply their email 2 seconds later, like they're there. They're for you and with you.
Uh-huh.
They hear you.
Mm.
Second year, who are you? What's my business? Right? So that was a huge shock because I was used to always getting what I wanted from my professors. Steady answers, extra help, extensions. And then when I asked for extension, they're like, if you're not dying, you don't need it. You're not gonna get it.
Wait, did a professor actually tell you that in your second year?
Like not explicitly, but basically they said in this, like for this assignment, don't ask for any extra extension except you have like extenuating circumstances.
Do you know what extenuating circumstances are?
I don't.
Have you ever had extenuating circumstances? Say now, all through your second year, you say you had no extenuating circumstances.
What is extenuating? What do you define?
Extenuating circumstances is extenuating circumstances.
Mhm.
This is the moment you refer to how you feel.
Hmm.
This is the moment you be like, my toe hurts me.
Right.
And this is an extenuating circumstance because without placing my toe, I cannot think.
Oh. Is that how you? That's how you are.
I'm just asking if that was your extenuating
No,
circumstance.
I didn't have extenuating circumstances. Oh.
But they are telling you that without extenuating
If you're not in the
circumstances.
hospital, if you did not just crash your car, if your parents did not just die, no,
How many times has your great grandparents died?
on an average,
Yeah.
like 5.
They have each of them, the great grand ones,
Yeah.
have died like
4
5
of
times
them.
each.
Yeah.
Are they going to die a 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th time?
Maybe, they can even come back tomorrow. If I will not be shocked. It's just a normal thing.
Extenuating circumstances.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying basically they were not as nice.
No, they
Is
weren't.
there any examples of how when this happened that
I'm a good student. So normally I don't need extensions. So I've actually not I don't know if it's that Nigerian mindset. If I have a deadline, I have to meet the deadline. Like
even though you start the assignment 1 hour before the deadline,
even
you
though-
just have to meet the deadline.
even if
and
I
you
know
can-
it's rubbish that I'm going to hand it in, I cannot go and ask for extension. Like with my pride, I want like my professors to think of me a certain way.
always
Right.
handling it on time, but
Yeah.
handling it rubbish.
At least I'm on time.
But
But I
it's
never.
rubbish.
I know myself. I don't handle rubbish.
Uh, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why you don't need it because you
Like
get this going.
I work great on a. You know when people say when your professors tell you, I know if you did this 10 days, 10 minutes before, they never know. They actually never know. At least
Because
in
it's
my
so
case,
good.
yeah. Like I've never. It's always been. I mean, if it's working for me, what's the
But
point?
but was it actually 10 minutes before the time you had it? You had to hand it in.
It depends. Like if an essay that I had 3 weeks before, sometimes I started the day before.
You're writing essays. Oh, you're doing a minor. Okay. Go ahead,
Like lab reports
yeah. Okay,
and stuff
lab
like that.
reports. Okay.
I still write essays too because I took English classes.
Eh?
I took English classes
Why did you have
because I
to?
really like English, like writing. I like stuff like that.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. That makes sense. So you're like, I'm gonna take English classes to improve my writing.
Yeah, just because it's interesting.
Where's my? She said English is interesting, but okay.
It's a nice break from like science and math and chemistry.
English is a nice break.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm actually now curious. What are they teaching in this English?
Well, the classes I took were like they're called global perspectives. So it's like literature basically. You read, watch different pieces from different cultures. You write your stories, short essays. Writing is like one of my pastimes.
Oh, so
It's something I
so it's
enjoy
closer
doing.
to literature than English because I was thinking of
Okay.
you kind of pronouncing
No,
vowel sounds
no, we don't do that
and
here.
identifying consonants.
We don't do that here.
What? That would be English, no? Identifying vowel
That's the
sounds.
kind of I don't like grammar, the grammar aspect of English. No.
That's what you should.
Or English, nah, I don't like that.
Well, we have Grammarly now, so the writing part too can
Yeah.
be done for you. AI is handling that.
Exactly.
So you're just going there so you can go and watch movies. You have just told us you wanted to watch
So I can go
historical
and
movies.
express myself and get all the free points as I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. And so you got English classes in, you still got so you're going into your third year. What are you
Mhm.
expecting for that?
Suffering,
You're ready.
pain,
Good. Third year is the
hardships,
hit. Okay.
death.
Okay.
I'm just mentally preparing myself right now this summer.
Yeah.
So much mental preparation.
You just have a good time and know that they're going to be sent into
There's
the
no time for
slaughterhouse.
There's no time for good time because even second year, I do not have a life, social life, as much.
Do you need one? Social life is overrated.
To some extent, you do. Once you run mad or depressed.
I'm just kidding, obviously. So, outside of why your parents sent you to school, how's campus been for you? What are the things you're enjoying about campus?
I like the freedom.
Oh, okay.
I don't like. Okay, I don't stay on campus, but I'm close by. But I'm away from my parents, obviously. So it's like I like my freedom, my space.
The interesting thing is you use the word freedom before you use space. Because I understand the word space,
Yeah.
but I want to kind of ask you, what is freedom for you going to campus?
It's like I'm basically in charge of myself. I'm in charge of myself.
You're feeling like an adult.
Yeah.
Adulting hasn't adulted you yet,
It has started small.
but you're still
I'm
enjoying
running away.
adulting.
I'm still ahead yet now, so
But you're still enjoying adulting.
yeah. I'm enjoying the good part of it right now.
And the way you're smiling, I can tell that the good parts is better than the other parts.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adulting will adult. When adulting comes around to adults, you would be like that freedom.
I'll
What's
come
up?
back to my parents' house. Thank God it's not far.
That's a good option to have. But yeah, so you're being like basically freedom. What you're saying that freedom to you means basically the ability to manage yourself, an
Make my
adult.
decisions.
Make your decisions.
Experience my own things.
Mm.
Make my mistakes by myself. I know how
Let's
to...
talk about mistakes.
I
Okay.
said so many things before I made
Those
mistakes.
ones didn't get my attention.
Oh my days.
So let's talk about mistakes.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of what you would consider mistakes as part of your freedom?
Well,
What you would consider mistake?
What I'll consider mistake. Well, I went to Halifax by myself, right?
Okay.
I didn't go with any friend, so I didn't know anybody.
Okay.
So I had to go and make friends.
Oh, making friends. Okay.
Yeah. And obviously in the process you have to weed out some first. Like you have to meet everybody.
We have not gotten there yet. We are still in the process of you had to make friends.
Right, right. So I
Okay.
met people and I became friends with people.
So you intentionally went
yes.
out to make friends and
Right.
become friends with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously some of them are not everybody you meet is a good friend, right? So making friends basically, I had mistakes like there's some people that I shouldn't have gone to make friends with
Well, you
that I
can't,
learned from.
but you can't tell when you're intentionally just going to make friends, right?
Exactly.
So you can't tell. You have to actually experience things. You got to observe things you don't like, you don't want around you,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you're saying that in your excitement
Yeah.
to make new friends, you realize that not all friends were suitable for you.
Yep.
And that is like a mistake you will count as part of your freedom.
I will say so. Yeah.
That's interesting. Before you went to school, you probably were still able to make friends in high school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There were no mistakes in those high school friends?
See, I feel like high school friendships are a bit different. Or for me, I don't know.
Tell me about it.
Maybe because I was at home. I don't know. They were friends, but there was nothing there. We just see each other when we go to school. After school, that's it. The ones I go to church with, okay, we see in church. Maybe we hang out once in a while, but there's no real commitment. Like,
so basically, you're saying when you went to college and you're outside of the home, then the friendship means more.
Yeah, more expectations, more responsibilities to each person. We're all growing now, so people are expecting different things.
They're like, I expected you to call me yesterday.
Yeah, I expected you to show up for me. So
too much.
Not too much. In high school, please show me assignments. Did you do this one? That's it. Right.
Okay. No, that's interesting. You said those were the mistakes and freedom and stuff like that. So we're gonna go outside of the whole academic experience. So you said making mistakes and the freedom. What were the things that you were surprised to find out when you on campus? Like something that you wouldn't think or you didn't expect. You were like, okay, I'm going to school and stuff. Maybe you've heard whatever, but when you actually got on campus, it's going on and you're like, oh wow, we're now in the real world.
What I didn't expect, I would say, first of all, you know how everybody says, oh, campus, that's where everybody like parties, like campus parties, people like to have fun, drink, all of that nonsense. You know, I always knew, obviously, nonsense? When you get to university, everybody's having fun. People are missing their way left, right, and center. But hey, it's different when you actually see people. It's crazy, especially when like my parents always tell me, oh, when you go there, other people are leaving their homes, people are coming from Nigeria, people are coming from anywhere. Once they see freedom, their head just goes crazy. And I was like, obviously, like,
did your head go crazy?
No, my head did not go crazy.
We'll come back to that. Continue.
But it's like when I got there and I actually saw these international students that obviously this is their first time leaving home.
Yeah.
And they're just wilding. I'm just like, do you people have like training? Like is this the first time they've let you outside? It's
they just
crazy to me. The things that people do. And one thing that surprised me is how easily people are influenced.
That surprised you?
Yeah, I don't know why. Even myself, I thought you cannot tell me anything. You won't tell me what I don't want to do. So that's not what happened.
Example. Please share.
Oh gosh. Well, if I had to think of one.
Yeah.
I would say, like, okay, yes, I've been to certain parties, not a lot, but
certain
parties. Yeah, not like clubs or anything. I don't enjoy that. Oh, I
How
don't think I will. I don't...
Wait. Have you been to one before?
I haven't been to a club before.
So how would you know if you like it?
I just don't know if I would. Like, there's so many people. You have to interact with random people.
You
I don't
realize
know.
that there are different sections in a club.
True.
Too much information. Go ahead.
Oh, how would you know?
Too much information. Go ahead.
So where was I? Oh yeah, going to parties. I didn't used to go to parties before. Maybe because I was with my parents. I can't even be out of the house at like 7 p.m. But I did go to a few, even though I had told myself I was not nearing that scene. So that's like one way I knew that, like, if I can go to a party, that kind of party, like an out, like where everybody's like drinking and doing all of that, if I could go, then yeah, because it
So,
was a big deal.
so okay. I'm gonna go into that. What was your experience in whatever certain party that you went to?
So it was a house party. It was at someone's house. There was like music, there were drinks, there were people. It was a Halloween party too, so
People
everybody
were
was
dressed.
dressed up.
Did you get dressed up in any costume?
So I got dressed up, but it wasn't a costume. I just chose, like, the early 2000s, the 70s era, that Nollywood. But I didn't go as a Nollywood babe. I just
Did you go as Patience Ozoko?
huh? No.
You didn't go as Mama G.
No, I didn't dress up like crazy. But if anybody asked me, I'll be like, "Oh, this is what my costume was," and then they would see, they'll be like, "Oh, okay." But it wasn't anything. You know that swoop braids? Like, I don't know if you know, because you're a guy, but like, and then silver jewelry, tank top, like, those Nollywood
Silver jewelry
heels.
tank tops.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but the girls would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the girls would know.
Yeah, so that's what I went dressed up. It wasn't anything crazy. Like, I can go outside in that.
Yeah.
So, but people dress up in different things. Different things. You know how people dress up on Halloween,
Let's just say, for people that don't understand how Halloween works in Canada,
right?
Halloween is the excuse to be whoever
You want to be.
you wanted to be, but the society told you that you
No.
should stay straight.
Exactly.
So they pick a day
to just
to just wild
go
out.
wild. Yeah.
So yes, I understand what that is, but
Yeah. So I'm like, that's them and me. I came with my friends. Like, I came with only two people, but just chill, have fun, dance. I don't even. And then my friends went to socialize, and I don't like to socialize.
I saw people.
Like,
Okay, what do you mean by you don't like to socialize?
Like-
Because I know you a little bit. You can't tell me that you don't like to socialize.
do in the right place, in a place like that. I don't know. I it's so weird to go to a random person and just, like, you're dancing with your drink and you're like,
So everybody has been coming to you. That's your problem. You have not been learning. You have not been
I
practicing how to
guess.
come around.
I
and-
get it's just so awkward. So I was just chilling by myself. But then seeing other people were now, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here. Yeah.
So that was one experience that you thought that was wild,
Not necessarily like what I saw, like
what you saw that
yeah.
was going on.
Because
that
I've
you-
never been to one, right? So it was very
Okay.
interesting. People got, like, people get like blackout drunk.
Did you have to be the, what would I call it? Is it designated driver for
designated
anybody in your
driver.
crew?
I chose to be.
Willingly.
Yes. I was not assigned. I wasn't designated.
You were like, I know I'm not.
Gonna do
I'm
that.
going to be fine.
Mind you, I wasn't driving either, but I decided to be the designated driver. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was fun, but it's not my scene.
It's not your scene. What's your scene?
I like if we can hang out and just, like, play games, have a good time without all the extra
You said
serene.
play games.
Hey, good.
Games.
Right.
You like playing games.
I do.
You know how that can be defined in some circles.
Like what?
You said you like your kind of thing is to
Card
play
games. Uno.
Oh no. Okay.
What other games would there be?
Okay. Do you want me to start breaking down what?
Yes, enlighten me.
There
As
are
I don't
plenty
know.
play games. So you're like, I like to play games. Do you know the kind of games that can be played?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll keep it moving.
Sure, I don't know. We'll go with that.
Yeah, but oh yeah, no. The university experience is cool. Sometimes you gotta experience it to know either how wild it is, that's not for you or not. I would guess that at some point you would have been thinking, I want to find out what goes on in here.
In where?
in those parties,
Oh, yeah. Before I went.
and
Yeah.
then found it. So you're trying to tell me that could it be a case of a bad experience in a party kind of affecting how you view it?
It's not like, okay, so if I knew
Because
the people I
Halloween
was
is
going
wild
with, yeah,
compared to like your regular house party.
plus if I knew the people there, I probably would go. It's just I went to a friend of a friend of a friend.
Ah,
Like the extension is long.
ah. Now
I just knew two people.
now I get
Right.
it. Now that makes more sense, because a lot of times house parties are usually people that you would know, so that even though you're not in the midst of like everything going on,
Yeah.
you can have your people that you're actually having a conversation with
Yeah.
or whatever. So I can see how you get in there, and considering the fact that you do not go, that you
Exactly.
wait for them
Right.
to come.
Mhm.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That could actually be a scenario that you're like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's that. So what other things outside of the reason they sent you to
I'm a good girl. Though. I don't do those things. I don't do things.
So where were you spending your time? In the
In
library?
church.
In church. What about the brothers in the Lord?
Oh, wow, we thank God. Huh. They're good though, they're fine.
So the brothers in the Lord did not welcome a new sister?
They did. Not a lot, but some of them chose to extend a hand. A helping hand.
A helping hand and a
Yeah.
hand in fellowship.
Yeah.
And you are
Not a lot. Like, okay, so I didn't make myself available in that sense. In that I was very closed off. So everybody that is coming near, I'll just be shouting, friend, friend, friend.
So
you would just-
so friend was the shield.
Right. Yeah.
And they
Hey, friend.
you set it up early before anybody starts thinking too
Yeah.
much.
Because I wasn't trying to do all that.
And that was intentional.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you have a lot to say.
I have plenty to say.
Oh, you say it
No,
now.
the thing is, I have little information. I have little information to go by, so it's like, does it really
Yeah.
matter what I have to say?
Yeah, like personally, I still am not as excited to delve into that area yet.
What about the brother with the amazing voice and the brother?
Amazing voice way.
I mean, brother in fellowship, but the one that
Well,
the one that catches the eyes.
oh, okay. Does he catch my eye?
That's what I'm asking.
If he catches my eye, we can be friends.
Oh wow.
We can
Oh, wow.
fellowship.
Now this needs serious, like
Huh.
this is serious. This has gone outside of, I was like, okay, one of the things I was thinking was like, okay, maybe they were not, I don't even know whether they used to call it the one or the two or the three.
Hmm?
Is that the three? The one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's not the one. Anyway, on campus, we know how it goes. It's the twos and the threes. I thought that was the reason that they were put in the friend zone. But you're not saying that even the 1.5, the one, still gets put in there. So
to start with.
To start with,
Even if like I really like you're the one, nobody can change my mind. We'll still put you in there for both of our sakes.
wow.
Like to start with, like you have access. You have to like you work your way. You have to do some work too, you know. Yeah.
Young men in
Wait, I don't
fellowship,
understand.
focus on your
How is it
books.
supposed to go?
Focus on your books.
How else would it be?
Eh?
Focus on your lives. How else would it be?
At least how else would it be? At least
Yeah.
if he's the one,
How would I know he's the one? Love at
That's a
first
good
sight.
question. That's why I was asking you now, because I allowed you to figure that out on your own. But you said you figured that out and you still put it on there.
Okay. After I figured it
Yeah,
out.
so yeah, that's
Oh,
what I mean.
if I figured it out, if I made my friend and then I figured out later in the process.
The one must go through the friend.
Yeah. We have to be friends first.
So the one must go through the friend.
I think so. Isn't that normal?
No, it's not normal.
Like, I don't understand. Friends as in like work friends, and then it progresses. Isn't that how it
Yeah,
is?
for the one is not normal.
Really?
That's my own point. That's why I was trying to understand what's going on, because every other person goes through the friend to get to the one, but
Yeah.
for the one,
Oh, they're just VIP
because
pass.
there is no time to be wasted. The one cannot be let to slip by.
Okay, so okay, maybe I'm not understanding. How do I know that? How do I meet them first? So if I just see them, I just know you're the one, like just from seeing.
That's what I'm trying to say. So are you saying that the one never came onto you?
No, because I don't
But
know. Like I would know, right? If they're the one, but I know.
yeah, it's you that would know
Exactly.
now.
So I've not felt like anybody's the one. So
Standards are high.
no,
Standards are high here, but
no.
that's interesting. Don't mind me. I just wanted to push that a little bit. The For whatever reason that the one, you'll find that. Let's just say maybe it's a process or whatever the case might be.
Well, if I know they're the one, then we'll.
People always say this thing that they know when they see the one, that they are the
Okay,
one.
so if I know that they're the one, yes, you do have VIP. I'm just saying, like, not everybody is just like you have to go through a process.
Are you going through a process? Are you going through a process?
No, I've not found any.
You have not found anyone that will make you go through a process.
This place is a crazy place, please. Very crazy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. But yeah, I just thought that was curious. But wait, like, what I would say is, when you see the one, this your hurdles. This your.
Oh no, there will not be hurdles. Like if I know that you're the one, there will be hurdles.
Be the one, guys.
The hurdles will not be. It won't be a hurdle to you. To you alone.
To you and
they're
you
the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's cool. That's cool. The standard has to be there, Abby. But yeah, that's interesting. So the brothers in the Lord have all not cut it.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, like
no.
I don't think so.
So okay, so we just went through that, which is a thing when you get into school and you start meeting people, and some guys, some girls are trying to be friends. Some guys are trying to see if they're the one or not. When you talked about the friend thing, could it be any of these brothers that had to be cut off?
No.
No?
No, like I didn't have to cut off any guy.
That means they are behaving out here in the streets. That's interesting. So you're trying to tell me that your ordeal with a possible friend cutoff were with the female friends that you were making?
It happened to be so. I didn't cut off like my whole friend group.
Some people.
Right, yeah.
Some people were too wild.
Yeah. And they just happened to be like I didn't cut them off. I don't cut people off completely. Like I just put distance.
Oh.
Like we weren't as close as we were.
As you were before, because it wasn't actually aligning with what you were doing. Yeah. Oh no, that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's talk about your other interests, which you brought up earlier. So we'll talk about your interest in writing. So you've been writing for a while. I know that. Right. And you also have a podcast called Emma Speaks.
Yeah.
Right, which you barely do any justice in updating frequently.
Right. We're working on it.
But let's talk about that. Like, you've been doing the writing for a while, you have the podcast. Like, what exactly drives you when it comes to writing? And also, you say something, it seems like you like to express yourself. That's why you're probably here. I know you want to talk. You have plenty things to say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I do. Because, like, I'm a very, like, I feel a lot of things. I'm a very emotional person. So I have a lot to say. I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of thoughts all the time. And I don't like talking to people like that about my thoughts. It's just very uncomfortable.
Why?
So,
Why? What in these thoughts actually get you uncomfortable?
like nothing really. I just feel like it's just I don't know how to just go and like talk to someone and be like,
But
what's up?
I would expect them to be like your family or your friends or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just haven't always been like super, super expressive.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if it's jokes, like of course.
Oh, you joke all the
Of
time, but when it goes
course.
outside of jokes.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me.
So basically, the whole writing thing and your podcast setup was basically a medium for you to express yourself.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of the things you write. The
Hmm.
truth about it is, whatever is going on in your mind, I don't understand.
Why? Why?
Well,
Why? You don't understand? Because it's like what I write.
I mean, like how you try to structure it, how
Oh,
you try
that's the
to
point.
say it. Then
That's
you're
the
not
point.
saying anything now. If you
I'm
cannot,
expressing myself. If
To
you can't
who?
catch it, then
to who? You
to
have to,
whoever.
but you have to express it in the way that
The
people
people that
understand.
get it.
Then you can also say it to them. You can also express it to them, right?
I like to express myself, but then at the same time, I'm very. When I think of what someone might say when I express, I'm like, oh, okay, let me just keep quiet. But then if I don't want to keep quiet, I'll go ahead and write it. That way, if you get it, if you don't get it,
Okay,
well,
let's talk about something. I'll allow
Mhm.
you, give you a little time to think about it. Give me an example of a thought, and you
Mhm.
can go into detail you like, anyhow you like.
Mhm.
An example of a thought, because we all have it. I don't know many people that have thoughts that I'm worried about
Express.
expressing
Yeah.
because the way the world operates.
Right.
But I want to do this. Give me a thought that goes through your mind and you're absolutely like not sure you want to actually express it, even though it's just a broad topic, and I want to just
It's
go
all
through
that
that.
like that still goes through my mind right now.
That
or
still
just,
goes through, or that has gone through your mind, that you felt some type of way to express and you probably wrote about it or something, but like a kind of a topic or something, or a general line of thoughts. I have a lot of those. A lot of people, I'm not sure a lot of people want to go into my head, but
really.
okay.
Well, one of them was I remember this one. It's so like minute, like it's so shallow. But so I'm in my church choir, right? And I used to be one of the youngest people in the choir. Everybody else was like older. So a lot of times I have things to say about how they're doing stuff. About like even the musical technicality, like random like thoughts. And I just want to say it, but then I can't because disrespect.
We're Nigerians.
Respect your
now.
elders.
You have to
What do you
respect your
know?
elders.
I've been in this choir since. So, and then when I write it, like it doesn't seem like sometimes my thoughts are just very, like I said, they're very shallow, right? Or they're not deep, like I want to die. But
Give me an example. Even you didn't give me an example, because even though you said this thing about the
okay,
whole
so
choir
like
thing, I want like
the exact.
a topic for the like the thought.
So okay, back to like the choir thing. And they were trying to explain like singing in parts, like soprano sing this, alto sing this. And I listened to that song and that is not what they were singing. And I got so annoyed because I even tried to say it one time and they were like, what do you know? So I said, okay, it's no worries. I'll sing what you want me to sing. And then I went home and then I wrote. But then when I write, I exaggerate it. So you won't know what I'm like. You think I'm like somebody is about to kill me. But it's just because they told me, yeah, come on, 16-year-old. Like, so that, like, stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody that this uncle said this. But when I read about it, to me, I feel okay. I can calm down now. Like, stuff like that. Like, there was a time I wrote a poem about, I had to play the piano in school at one point. And I felt good playing. Like, it just felt like, like I just like music is like one of the biggest parts of my life. I just felt good on stage, so I wrote about it, and I used like musical terms in the poem. Like I was like, life without this would be flat, but like B flat is the key, right? So I used or
So
like
you're making like
yeah, stuff
play
like
on
that.
words.
Yeah, so if I explain it to someone, then they would get it. Like
Let's
stuff
talk
like
about
that.
one. Let's talk about one, because I think you're running from your thoughts.
Oh gosh.
You're running from your thoughts, so I'm just going to bring one that you discussed recently so that you know that I actually listen.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk about obedience. What were you thinking that carried you into obedience?
Is that a poem I wrote?
No, not a poem. This one was a podcast you did. What?
Oh,
I gotta remind you.
I thought we were still on the poetry thing. That's why.
No, I know it's a poetry thing, but I'm trying to get you to thoughts, but you're giving me very incident stuff instead of the thoughts that actually cross your mind.
Obedience, like the one I was talking about, like so.
Yeah, you might have been talking about Saul, but I want to talk about like obedience, the topic.
I just like thought about something to talk about, and that was the first thing that came to my head. Like sometimes it's not deep, really.
It's not deep, but you have thoughts you want to express.
Yeah, of course.
So what is an example of a deep one that you would consider deep that you have thought about? Odufo, I know you think deep, so don't do that with me.
I have to think about it, like a deep thing that I've talked about.
That either you have not even gotten to write about or talked about, but you thought about it.
I don't know. I have to think.
Give me a deep one. Give me a deep one.
Like how deep?
Because I think the example, if I'm just going to go back to the obedience thing you said, since you don't want to think, you want me
like
to
I don't know if I remember.
For you.
Please do.
So if you go back to the obedience thing you talked about, when it comes to Saul in the Bible, it's interesting because the interesting thing about it is that he was asked to. You see, this is one of my own deep thoughts. You know, like I was trying to remember.
I think I know where you're going.
Yes, I'm. Yeah. So he was asked to kill everybody,
and he
decided to keep the fattest cows and the lambs and said that he wanted to use them as sacrifice to God.
Right.
You see, one of my deep thoughts.
My thoughts are coming back now.
One of my deep thoughts came through just even repeating that, because in one of my deep thoughts, I can't talk. Okay, we're talking about you, but based on that conversation, so I'm like, when you see an example like that, or you're thinking about obedience, what is the deep thought that led you there? Okay,
I think I know what you mean. So, when I read that scripture thing, I was like, Saul was just trying to, give God the best. Like he wasn't trying to like disobey. They said kill. Yeah, okay, I get you told to kill, but let me at least give you something. Sometimes when you want to do too much. So as I was reading it, they were talking to me. So I was like, let me just cover this topic off in a nice.
When you said it was talking to you, that's what I want to.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, so the deep thought was like, what if I'm trying to like, do something good with the right intentions, but obviously it comes off as being wrong. In that case, like a sin, like sometimes you're just trying to maybe even impress someone. You have the best intentions, but maybe you didn't do it the right way, or you did it a certain way and it's not appreciated, like stuff like that.
But I think the key thing is the fact that if you're going to listen to somebody, if you're going to listen to the person and you say you want to obey the person, you might as well do it exactly how the person wants it done.
Yeah.
And leave your own wisdom.
Exactly. It's not about you, right? It's about the person.
That person. Or you said, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think one interesting thing with that person that's interesting is you use the name of God for the excuse for what you want to do.
Right, right.
But you go there and you don't do the thing as it was instructed, and you do yours.
Or you might even get super excited, like you're really trying, like,
and let me do more.
Know what to, you even know you have the exact instructions, and in your excitement, you just overdo, right?
No, but yeah, that was an interesting point, because for me it's about those. Yeah, you have those deep thoughts, and you're like, can I even say this thing out loud?
Without them thinking that
you've either lost your mind or everything is coming to an end,
right?
And you have to express it. I think a lot of people do have a lot of thoughts that obviously society would not want you to share it, or they would assume that you're probably gone to the dark side,
right? If some of my poems, sometimes when I go back to them, I'm just like, was I okay?
It's a good point. Now we have to ask if you were actually not okay, or you were just expressing yourself.
Yeah, because some of the things I write, like in the heat of the moment, I'll just exaggerate. And then when I'm done, when I come back to that, someone would think that I'm depressed. Like genuinely. even if I'm just upset because someone didn't do something or
But is it also an avenue for you to express yourself, maybe when you're upset or something like
oh
that?
yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I don't like some things I write and then I throw it away. Like I just express it.
I am really curious because it seems to be a lot of maybe I've not heard a lot of people say it, but at least I think I've also watched it in movies. It seems to be some people's way of coping, maybe, right? In terms of, okay, I'm angry, I have to express it somehow. Some people these days will go take a wrecking ball and go destroy things and
Right.
let it out. Some people will be like, if I can write it down or something, I can let go of it. You know what I mean? Different ways or coping mechanisms, and it's possible that for a lot of people, writing, speaking, the common one is actually speaking.
Yeah.
Like, let me go and tell you my mind.
You rant or
Let me go and rant. Let me go and tell you my mind,
Yeah.
right? In terms of like expressing yourself. But that's interesting. At what point, let me ask this before I get to the final part of this podcast. At what point will you start sharing your deep thoughts?
Why do you think I've not gone back to writing? I've not shared anything in a minute.
So you've been in the deep thought process and wondering if you can actually.
It's like, yeah, because I have a lot of thoughts. Like I think a lot.
Give me one.
I don't know how to. I can't even give you an example.
Give me
like
one. You don't have a topic. You don't have a topic.
Like sometimes I'm just like sad, and I'm just thinking. My mind just goes to places. Like I can't even make them up, right?
Like when?
Or if I like somebody, like if I have a huge crush, I don't crush on people. Like if let's say I just like a, let's say I like someone, I will write about it. Like, yeah.
Do you know what I think?
What?
I think you wait for people to come a little too much.
What do you mean?
Like the example of if you crush on somebody, then you start writing about it.
I wait for people to come.
Yeah.
How?
In terms of like you're waiting. You're waiting.
Oh my days.
Back to what I said.
Yeah.
The one is there, and then you're waiting
For them to come.
for them to come.
For them to realize that they're the one.
Yeah, exactly. Or for them to be like you're also the one.
Maybe.
And then you go back and go and write.
Go ahead. Update it. Yeah, you know.
Okay, so you now go. So where do your thoughts go? How deep?
Not that deep.
Not
Like
that deep.
it's not
you just...
like we think about it, write about it, have our little moment of bliss, and then we move on. Like, it's not that deep, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so thanks for coming up, sharing the shallow thoughts, because there was no deep thoughts.
Like I can't think about it on the spot. That's the thing.
I'm trying to juggle your memory, but the problem is that you have not even shared any of it. There's no way it's out. So I can't even... What will I bring up to juggle it? Because you didn't even give me anything. But we appreciate the shallow thoughts.
No
We're
worries.
waiting for the deep thoughts.
Next time
I'm curious to get into that. Next time I would actually get you to actually think about it and write it down.
Okay.
Like an example of a topic that actually comprises of a deep thought for you. I'm curious. But okay, so we'll go ahead. To wrap this all up, I told you I was gonna ask you like a dilemma random question, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So
I'm scared.
No, you should not be worried. Actually, when I thought about it, it's not too personal. It's not personal for you yet.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
So you can make a theory out of the question.
Okay.
It's kind of... I don't want to make it too dark.
Okay.
Right? So what I was thinking was between... So let's say you had a spouse and a kid, and you had to let one go. I don't want to make it dark, but you know the darker side of that question.
What's the darker side? Why don't you to make it dark?
No, I was wondering now. You like shallow. You didn't want to go deep. But I said, okay, you're in a scenario that a life or death scenario, and you can only save one, which is either your spouse or a kid. not too personal because, oh, let me ask first. You have a spouse?
No, I don't.
You have a kid?
No, trust me, if I have his fast, everybody would know. I'm just playing, of course.
Okay, so I thought about it. So you can make a theory out of it, even though it's dark. If you had to save one and let one go, theoretically, and you had a spouse and a kid, which one would you save and why?
That's a good question. Because I can think of reasons why to save one or the other.
That's why it's a dilemma
I
question.
don't know, like I can say I'll save the spouse because we can always make more children.
No. Okay.
And then I can save the kid because the man has lived. Let the child live now.
But now you gotta pick one. But that's the real two arguments for both. But now you gotta pick one.
Wow. If I have to pick, I would pick. Is this one of those questions where, depending on your answer, you can determine my personality?
Maybe,
You know
but
this-
the whole idea, you can actually from there you can determine someone's personality. But the whole idea is a tough dilemma question, and you just gotta pick one. And
That's
if
hard.
you can make an argument for both, in my opinion, I try to bring questions that there's no real bad or great or good or whatever argument for both.
Mhm.
But I want you to pick one because it's life, and you know what you're trying to study. You have tough.
That's true.
Yeah, so
Honest, I feel like I'll pick the kids.
you pick the
I
kid.
think so, but I don't know because as I'm
No,
making
you
the
gotta
decision in
pick
my head,
one.
I'm like, oh, but
Tough decisions are coming in your life, you know that.
yeah. Ugh, I think I'll pick the kid.
You think you'll pick the
I
kid? And
think
why?
so because like that's a child. I don't know. Children are just, to me, I like. It's so hard to like put them in any form of danger. But then the man, I'm going to like, that's
So
gonna.
you're saying that you're gonna pick the kid and then go marry another man.
That's the thing. I don't know if I will marry again after. But then if I pick the man, oh, beside over the kid, bury the kid, and then we'll go make an.
Wow.
Okay, final decision.
Final
answer,
decision,
final answer.
final answer.
I think I'll pick my child. First of all, like, there's that bond. Like, obviously, me and the spouse will have our own bond, whatever. But like that parent to child bond. I mean, I don't know it yet, but from what I've heard, when I'm in that situation, I feel like I'll not be able to let that child die. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, I know that that's what the father would want. Hopefully.
That's what you're hoping.
Hopefully.
That's what you're hoping
What if
that
that's
he
not
would
what he
want.
wants? What will he do?
No,
But-
that's the interesting part about it.
Yeah.
It's just a question. Interesting enough, is just to find out what you think
Yeah.
about it. But I think it's an interesting answer. There's that argument, and then there's the argument for the other side,
Yeah.
right? But at the end of the day,
It's
What-
whatever you
what-
pick.
it's really a personality question if you think about it. But
Really?
it's whatever.
What are the two personalities? Do you know?
Eh?
What are the two personalities then?
I don't know if it's really the two personalities. This feels more like a question that a spouse will be asking you to know that if their life is
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, with you.
If their life is safe with you.
Yeah.
But it could also be the question the person is wondering that I will also care about my child more than I
Right.
die for the child.
Right.
So it's kind of just right there, right?
And then some people will even say, I'll die and save both of them as per Jesus.
As by Jesus, but it was not an option, though.
Right.
But you see, that's
They think out of
overdue.
the box.
That's doing too much.
Right.
Back to the
We
doing
did not
too
ask
much.
them.
Now everybody now goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the reason. Do you have any questions for me?
Not really. Off the top of my head.
Okay. I guess there's nothing I can add
To what I've
you're
said.
doing or what you've said. But anyway, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Of course.
As I said, get those deep thoughts out. Get those deep
Next
thoughts.
time.
Just get those deep thoughts. Now, what I would do is I'll remind you to write them down
Mhm.
so that as you go, you won't be like I can't think of anyone. Like
Right.
one of those deep thoughts that you go, you think about it strong.
Hmm.
Maybe the one you're like, why is the one not talking to me?
Oh, that's a
Then
deep,
you go
deep thought.
deeper. No, it can go into different directions. So,
Like,
do you want to do a
is it
little game?
because of me?
Exactly.
And then you bring up the question
Do we want to
of,
go deep? How it can go?
what's it called?
Is it-
Insecurity.
Is it what the options that they have? Is it that they don't see me?
Is it my flaws?
Is it my flaws?
And I start thinking.
Should I fix my flaws? Should I change should I be closer? Should I take radical
actions?
Do we want to go deeper? Anyway, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And to everyone listening, thank you for listening. This is another episode of No Right, No Wrong with Emma. Hopefully, I get you back. But interesting enough with deeper thought. It has to be with deeper thought.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, guys.